Sooner Nation, welcome back to another edition of Double Trouble. And look at here, we got Hunter with us tonight. Jeremy will be joining in a bit, but Hunter is here with me as we're going to get this thing rolling. Sorry for being a little bit late, but it's been a great day for Sooners basketball. What a win on the road for Oklahoma. Huge win. Road in the Big 12 is killer. It's tough, but they got the W today. That was massive. Kansas falls to West Virginia. Kansas 1-2 on the road in the Big 12. It's brutal. You got the 49ers-Packers game right now going on. It's a great game. I'm pulling for the Packers. Maybe Baker could host a NFC championship game next week. But, hey, thanks for joining. If you're not a member of Sooner Surge, an unlimited member, sign up for it. Don't know what you're waiting on. It's a great opportunity to be a part of even more content that we provide our Sooner Surge unlimited members. I see some of them on here, Believe in Save Ministries, others. And, Hunter, let's just I want to get right to it with Hatchet. Obviously, we've heard he's visited. I saw James Jones comment about Hatchet brothers if they don't like DeBoer, and it's quite obvious from what I've seen on Twitter.
They have do not very strong opinions on it. Really, from when it first happened, Gearin was tweeting about it. There's one he retweeted a tweet that said, "That's how you destroy a locker room." And burn bridges. Feel sick for my brothers, and you can't blame them. Like, it seems like every coach in this coaching carousel this season kind of had that same, I guess you call it the Lincoln Riley type of exit, where you're finding out on Twitter, you're getting 5 minutes of a team meeting from your coach, and it's not right. There's a better way to do it. I think coaches should be held accountable the way that players are held accountable for stuff like that. Be upfront with your team. It's not an issue. I don't necessarily have an issue with them leaving for a better job. It's just to leave in that type of fashion. And
the stuff he said afterwards too is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's up, Jackson? How are you tonight? Bigsby, I saw dominating basketball. Sooner Cowboy says, why does it seem so easy for teams like Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, et cetera, for them to get 5 stars? And for OU, it seems difficult. Are you talking about the portal? I think you're talking about the portal.
I think it's a little bit of portal and recruiting.
Brent Venables, though, they've gotten 5 stars his first few years there at Oklahoma. So even on defense. And so I think it's changing a little bit. I think it's going to take some time in that aspect. But portal, I just don't think OU's going to be a portal team. Hunter, I just don't think they will be.
A lot of the issues with the whole, I know I saw Ron put money, all of that. Yeah, that's happening. They're also, OU goes about it differently. Like they do. The OU has a top 5 NIL collective, but they spread it out. We talk about this, it seems like every single night. You spread it out. You're not throwing all that money at one player. So it's a lot different. Maybe if the winning starts to ramp up in Norman, it's going to change it to where players are not as much about the money as they want to go win a national championship, and Oklahoma is the place they feel that they can do it at. So I think over the next few years, it'll start to change a little bit, but a lot of it is OU's not going to pay one player more than they're worth and risk the locker room and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, Tyree, usually the OU DNA starts right in the fall. So I would say right before season starts. Bobby says, I don't think BB wants to live in the portal. I agree with you, Bobby. Hey, Hunter, can you create a poll? I would love to see a poll from everybody that's in this chat. Which poll do you want to do first, Hunter? Do you want to do the Hatchet?
Yeah, I would.
Here, Ron, the reason I'm saying one player is, I've seen some of you say that they're both there. I have not seen anything on both or not. And so what I'm saying is, yes, Hatchet Bros, I think it'd be great to land both of them. And I'll say this, even if they land one, I think they might land both. I think it could be a both deal, but I'm not going to say if I've seen multiple things on whether both brothers there or not. So I don't know for a fact. So I'm not going to say it.
The other thing is, we talked about it the other night. think there's 13 to 14, depending on if one of these transfers got like that PWO, NIL scholarship type of a scholarship, not on the 85 scholarship limit. That's the other thing that matters with this. Like, classes have already started at OU. You have a few more days there's exceptions, I'm sure, made for transfer athletes, especially the Hatchet brothers.
Yeah.
The position that they are in with their coach leaving, they get 30 days in the portal. Exceptions made there. So a lot of it depends on that. But, I mean, they're both guards. You look at what OU needs. They only need one guard. I don't think Fabechi and Weewu is going to play center. I think he's going to play guard.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be one of the starting guards. So that leaves only one starting guard option available. I don't think you can get both to come here and only one of them be able to start.
Hey, and I'll say this: the Hatchet brothers, if they would have stayed at Washington, might have both been starting guards next year.
Yeah.
So they're good players. And hey, if you could drop a poll, Hunter, and I want everybody in the chat here, let us know. Okay, first off, I don't know if you're going to put Garrett, if you're going to put one Hatchet brother or both, but what are your feelings?
And so far, 74% say yes. So
74% say that we'll land Gearin Hatchet. So we'll see. And Hunter, maybe we can get into this in a little bit about over the limit scholarships. I know that's a big deal. I know you know some of that, but that might be something to get to. What we got here by Jonathan says, seems like they are paying the older players. Yeah, we've talked about that before, Jonathan. And do you guys think this will help and start paying off and keep players from leaving early? I do think if you listen to Brent Venables, what he said when he came to OU and what he likes to do is he wants it to be a developmental team and a developmental program where you have guys that get better every year and they're in the system 3 or 4 years. So I do think that's what he wants. Yes, he'll go to the portal to get guys, but he's not going to spend his whole time in the portal, and he's not going to have a team that's mostly portal guys on the starters. I just don't see that ever happening with Brent Venables. So I think we need to just get used to that, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to say it.
We could yell tonight. I can go at Hunter if I want to. But,
I'm good. I like it being a little more.
I'll wait till Jeremy gets on here.
Civilized. Germ should be here in a bit to hop on, and I'll get off here, and you guys will get your nightly dose of yelling. But I do think that's a good way to say it, that the older guys from the portal are going to be more the plug and play. We saw it last year with a few guys. I think we'll continue to see it, and I think that's really what the portal was intended to be. It was intended to be a place for those grad transfers, those guys at the back of their college career, and be able to find a new place to play. I see the comment here, O-line pictures we put out. So you have Fabechi and Weewu committed. You have Spencer Brown. You have Michael Tarkin. That's 3 right now. I added it up the other night. Again, not sure on if all 3 are on scholarship. You can kind of assume so, but also one of them, 1 or 2, could maybe not be completely to that scholarship count because you have to stay under 85, and stuff changes in the spring. If you guys remember last year, Gavin Freeman got put on scholarship in the spring. Zach Schmidt also did. So things can change with the scholarship stuff. That's really what affects the Hatchet brothers on if you get one or both.
Infidel, he agrees with BB's philosophy. Portal needs to go back to sit out a year except for grad and coaching change transfers. Mark, I'm not going to disagree. Something has to change. But Mark, what do you do about the coaching change transfers when a coach leaves and you get 30 days into the portal? If your coach leaves late in the year like Saban did, you're kind of screwed as a team because your guys are entering and there's nobody to get. So that's not right either. That needs to be fixed. Something's going to be fixed. All the dates need to be fixed. The portal dates, all of it needs to be changed and fixed.
And I agree. A perfect world, it would have to be fixed. It's just college athletics are so complex. I mean, everything's based around the academic side of it. I mean, that's why the portal is when it is. It's really opens at the back half of your fall semester, closes before. the start of the spring semester. So you have to make that decision in that time frame. And with that, I mean, what's the proper solution? I
Yeah.
don't know, because it all depends on when you're enrolled in school. If you change the dates, that's more exceptions. That's more athletes put behind in the classroom because they're starting semesters late. All of that, and the big thing with the portal is, I mean, they've went so far from when it first started. I mean, now there's, I think, an injunction to where you can transfer an unlimited amount of times as of right now. Like,
Yeah,
how do
that's
you go back from that? Like, it's just so far. They went so far off the rails, it's hard to get back on track.
yeah. And Bradley, unlimited member. Appreciate you, Bradley. Says if you get one, you get both. As far as Hatchet Bros, Green Bay looks like Green Bay's about to score again. Wow, what a Packers, man.
That's what happens when Brock Purdy's your quarterback, and you can only surround him around so much talent for so long. When
Yeah,
you need elite defense and you need elite quarterback play, and Purdy hasn't had the best game. I'll just say that.
no. And Mark says Schmidt scholarship. Yoink, yank it. Jeremy, you on here, man?
Yeah, and it's also when you face the hottest team going in the playoffs,
Here we go.
like we knew they were. The Green Bay Packers were the hottest team, arguably heading in the playoffs, and we've seen it many years where the hottest team heading the playoffs ends up going through the wild card, road games all along into the Super Bowl. It may be Green Bay this year, guys.
We've never seen a 7 seed do that, hottest team or not. 7 seeds have been
Agreed, Hunter. But they were not a 7 seed. They were.
But
the
they
way
were.
they played the second half of the season was really, really special.
And if they didn't play the Cowboys,
Hunter, Jeremy, let's get to Bobby, also an unlimited member. Appreciate it, Bobby. He says, as long as that younger brother will come play without a scholarship. I think that's the issue is where are they going to find a scholarship for both, Hunter? Where?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'm not 100% sure on how that works. Stuff will have to be moved around. Spring scholarships, that's how it goes anyhow. But even if one is not on scholarship, it's not the end of the world now that you have NIL. Andy Bass is not on scholarship, but he had a ton of scholarship offers. One Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year, worthy of a scholarship offer. It's just to try to keep OU under this 85 scholarship limit. He didn't get one. It's supplemented with NIL. Tuition, all that's taken care of. He's just not on a football scholarship. He's on more of the academic scholarship. So things can be done. It's not the end of the world. It's not like how it used to be before NIL where you're not on scholarship. I mean, you're just out of luck. You're having to figure out how to pay for, if you're out of state, a whole lot of money for tuition and all of that. So things can be
portal though.
What?
Like Bradley said, someone's going to portal if they both go there.
That's the other thing on offensive line. I mean, you look at all of those guys they have. You bring in 2 more. I can afford 1 more, especially 1 more really good offensive lineman.
Hey.
And then you have a younger guy that's a sophomore, junior that you would have to think starts looking around. Okay, like I'm not going to get to play. Why stay here and not get to play? Especially with this freshman class that OU has coming in 2024.
Sooner fan, what's your question? Drop it in the chat. Hey, what do you know about Logan Howland? Haven't heard hardly anything about him.
Yeah, again, like I forget he's on the team sometimes. You hear nothing about him. It's so
it's
weird. There's so many guys. See that everyone offensive line's 100% the question mark going into next season for Oklahoma. But they have so many guys that have talent that should have a lot of potential. It's just they don't have experience yet. It's about finding 5 that are.
And that's a good point Jackson put in here. That's a very good point, Jackson. Part of the Sooner surge, Jackson. That's a good point, man. Here's Sooner fans' question. What's the logic behind closing the portal in January if it's just going to open up in the spring? Why not leave it open? I actually agree, Sooner fan. I think that would be amazing just to leave it open.
Has to do with enrolling in schools, though, guys.
I understand.
Because, I mean, even if they open it, you can't, a player in the portal can't just leave school if they enter February 13th. I mean, they can't just leave school, or you're going to be behind on your degree. You're going to be ruled ineligible.
But when does the portal open up?
It opens up after the spring game. So it's late.
You leave the last month of school?
No. You transfer and you finish out your finals. I mean, the portal opens.
Hey.
It's like, I don't remember how many days it's open for following the spring game, but it's like I think a week or two. And then like at least for OU, finals are that first, second week of May. I think it's like May 5th or 10th.
April 15th, Bobby says.
Hey,
So,
Jay.
Yeah.
It's much time to stick around.
We got to get to Chuck here because he's asked this twice. Why would we want him if he's hurt? And I know Mez said that he wouldn't be available. He was the projected. Him and his brother were projected starters next year. The guy's going to be ready.
He won't play in the spring or anything, but I think the reason you would want him is his upside. He's got 3 more years of eligibility, Chuck.
And the other thing is, there's an offensive lineman that fans should be familiar with from Washington, Heath Ozida.
Yeah.
Landon Hatchett was ranked above him last year in Washington. So that's another thing there. Both really good offensive linemen. I think it's just if you can get both, why not? Like, why say no to one of the Hatchett brothers when you can get two? I mean, those two could possibly be the 2 best offensive linemen you landed through this entire portal class.
And sorry, but their name's the Hatchet brothers. You got to get them, period.
Yeah, that's what a name. Hey, T Boomer says the kid's good. That's why we want him. Hey, Hunter, go ahead and drop that other poll you were going to drop.
All right, Jeremy, are
What
you ready?
poll am I missing?
Jeremy, are you on? Are you on
Are
for
you
good?
taking over for the rest of the night, or?
I'm on it right now. Yeah, I'm in a vehicle. My wife's driving, but I'm on it.
Oh, you won't be able to yell then if your wife's driving.
Oh, I'm yelling, buddy. I don't have anything to yell about right now. Great win for the Sooner basketball team, though. Yeah, go ahead. I'm on.
All right. Hey,
what's this poll we're talking about?
Hunter's going to drop a poll. He already dropped one poll. What was the final on that first poll, Hunter? I think the majority of people think that OU will land Garrett Hatchett. I think that's the majority right now. What about the Thunder? Huge win for the Thunder today.
Massive win. I turned off the game.
What's up, Chad?
Chad, really appreciate the super.
Thanks, Chad.
Appreciate it, buddy. Back nights, really appreciate it. Means a lot.
He's an unlimited member.
Yes, he is. He's in the Discord too. We were talking with him last night.
And by the way, Michael Hammond says Bill doesn't make the deals, and that's right. Listen, I want to talk about something too. First off, yeah, Bill doesn't make NIL deals. That there's a whole other thing, or people that do that. But I'll say this: Caden Proctor, what he said today on Twitter, pretty much called out Iowa for tampering. He didn't mean to do it. He slipped up. But I don't know if everybody saw that on Twitter. The big-time stud offensive lineman from Alabama basically said when he was struggling this year at Alabama, Iowa was in touch with him already, saying, keep your head up. We're proud of you.
Wasn't that at the Iowa basketball game?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why media. That's why communication departments.
Hey, Hunter, let me ask you this.
Talk to players.
Hey, I got a serious question. And Jeremy, I'd like you to chime in on this too. It's about tampering, in my opinion. And if you're a coach for, let's just throw an example. If you're a coach at OU, coaches, running back, receivers, whatever, and you recruit a kid for 2 years, they go somewhere else. Are you not allowed to talk to them at all?
That's the rule.
So that's the rule. Okay. So
that's the rule, Jay.
And Iowa did it. Sorry, that's breaking the rules. I'm sorry. You know what? They probably will get punished because it's Iowa. But if it was everybody else,
that's what aggravates me. Is I'm sure Iowa will get possibly a massive punishment because it's Iowa. But Michigan had all of their sanctions for tampering. Florida just had one. Florida State just had one. I mean, Alabama.
But what are they though? They're slaps on the wrist.
Yeah, it's nothing. But I mean, it all goes back to, I mean, the Pony Express. Remember that? SMU. Everyone was doing it. SMU, really good program. Got the
everybody wasn't.
Except this isn't. Hey, this is nothing.
This
like
isn't SMU.
People were still.
This isn't SMU. No.
But no, I'm just saying that examples are made out of the smaller programs that really shouldn't be. I think if you're gonna enforce it, you should enforce it across the board on everything, not pick and choose who you want to.
And Bobby's dead on. How do you enforce it? You the only way you would know about it is if a player just spills it like that, which I cannot believe he spilled it.
That was bad. Like that is very bad.
Don't you think? And I know Jay's been upset before about coaches who don't allow players to speak to the media. Can you blame them?
No.
I don't. Jeremy, stop with that. Don't even bring that up. Stop.
I mean, that's why some programs limit media access, is because of things like that.
Well, why are they limiting their kid from talking to media? Because they can't hide the fact that they're cheating? That's stupid. I mean, come on, that's stupid.
Hey, guys, can we be honest, though?
Do it, though.
You guys ever seen the Field of Dreams?
Yes. Who has
it? Iowa. It's Iowa, guys. It's Iowa. Who freaking cares? It's Iowa.
Hey, I think, Michael, there are rules for it. The problem is there's really no punishments for it yet. That's the problem. Nobody's really got punished for it yet. They say you can't tamper, but what's the punishment? There isn't none. So that's the big issue.
Jacob Sexton had the knee injury against Florida State bowl game. So that was late December of 2022. And he was available.
He was available earlier on.
He started playing probably fourth to last game of the season. So a good question by Mez there. About
hey, I got one for Sooner fan. I got one better, guys. Instead of "Is this heaven?" No, it's Iowa. It should say, "Is this the end zone?" No, it's Iowa.
Well, that's true. I saw somebody put today that Caden Proctor is going to have half the snaps next year because that's how their offense doesn't move the ball. So
it doesn't matter. He's still going to be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL draft when he's eligible.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything how little he plays or not.
Hey, Hunter, the guy last night we dropped in the chat, the guy from Owasso, did we clarify that he's 2026 tonight?
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. That was a typo. Somebody corrected me on that. Taj Overton, 2026, was a sophomore last year at Owasso. I think it was 25 TFLs, 5 sacks, 15 quarterback pressures. He also got an offer today from another SEC school, Arkansas. So offers are starting to roll in for them. You see OU starting to roll some more out, especially on the defensive line. But Tanya,
Purdy may
appreciate it. Super.
Purdy may win them the game here. Hey, Tanya, you're awesome. That's all I can say, Tanya. Awesome every night.
Talk about something that rolls in every night. That's Tanya and the Supers. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Tanya's awesome. Hey, so Jeremy, I want to ask you: does OU land Garen Hatchett?
Yes, we'll get that commitment tomorrow. I think OU gets the commitment from Garen tomorrow. I'm not going to say Landon's committing. Maybe it'll take Garen going home and talking about it. But here's what I am going to say for Sooner fans. People who think that Landon didn't visit and that kills OU, they're wrong. Because when a brother has a relationship, he can go home and tell him everything about the visit. I think that's kind of hogwash to say, well, Landon isn't visiting, so he's not in the mix. That's crap.
Well, he's in the mix. Yeah, like you said, anytime a brother comes, you have a chance. I mean, to get the other one. And maybe they want to play together. They did last year, so maybe that's something they want to do. I agree. It doesn't kill it. But I do think if you land one, you have a better chance of landing both than you do have of landing.
They're both
one of you two. Yeah.
Purple Orca. They're both guards, but Landon has played some center, at least in high school. But I expect the hatchet to drop by 7 o'clock tomorrow night, pun intended.
That pun
Yeah,
intended.
Tyler.
Yeah, I think Mark. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea, Mark. Neither are coming. OU is always second in these deals. I would disagree here, Jay Johnson. OU one, because I don't think this guy's at that level where OU's been missing on. If that makes any sense at all, it's the big 5 stars they haven't been. Okay, I think this guy's. Listen, he had OU second out of high school. He went to Washington over OU. So I will say that he was already high on OU's list the first time around with Lincoln Riley there. And so I think there is a good chance they can land him for sure.
Jay, I would argue that this would be the biggest miss because of the fact that they are so heavy in on him on the first recruitment that this would be a huge swing and a miss. I mean, some of the others, you weren't even in the batter's box. You didn't even see the pitch. Here, you've seen the pitch. You know everything he's got. If you miss on this one, on this big hanging curveball, that's a problem.
And I don't think I don't know how much. Listen, I think a lot of the guys they missed out on have been purely NIL related. Money deals. I don't know if this guy's a money. I don't know if a lot of it has to do with NIL. But, oh, man, San Francisco scored. Purdy, dude. That missed field goal is going to haunt Green Bay. It's going to haunt him, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Hey, I got trivia.
Bring it.
This one's tough. This one's very tough. And by the way, if Jordan Love can come back and win this, it'd be huge. Okay, here's the trivia. Trent Williams tonight for San Francisco. We all know what a stud he was. Drafted number 4 overall in the draft. What I want to know is he played as a true freshman. I know a lot of people maybe not know this, but he played as a true freshman. Who did he replace? Some guy got injured. He came in at right tackle, and he replaced him, and he took that job basically. Who was it? Jeremy, do you know?
I do not, but I totally missed half of that. I was trying to read this question by Stephen Corliss, and I actually agree with a lot of it that OU is fine rolling out with what they got. I think they would like to probably have a couple more pieces, mainly on the offensive line. Maybe they get those, but OU staff and company, 100% okay with what they got. They're not throwing out there a second tier team, I promise you.
Yeah, I haven't seen the answer yet. Not Donald Stevenson, not Johnson, not Lane Johnson. Correct, neither one of those. Haven't seen it yet. I may give you a hint if y'all can't figure this out. I did not know it. I'll say that. I had to look it up. So there you go. I'll give you a hint right now. First and last name start with the same letter, if that gives you any hint.
That's a tough
First
one,
and
Jay.
last name, not Smith. 49ers win this. They better get another quarterback. Let's see. Haven't seen it
Infidel.
yet,
Infidel has just brought in the
Wiley,
magic word.
unlimited member. Brandon Braxton broke his
There it
leg,
is.
and Trent Williams came in. The rest is history. Hey, did you
Chris
see
Chester is another good one.
Chris Chester was good. Hey, did you see Texas basketball day? They won. All that stuff on Twitter about he was jumping up and down on the sidelines. He said he never would do that. He never does that. It's so ridiculous.
Infidel brought in the magic word, Jay. Infidel brought in the buzzword of the week.
What?
Culture matters.
There you go. Culture. Waiting on it, Jeremy. I was waiting on your culture rant here in a minute.
I'm not going to have a culture rant, Jay. There's no need for it right now. You know my viewpoints on this.
All right. So, Hunter, are you dropping the second poll?
What is the second poll, guys?
What does Jay Johnson OU1 says here? What is that? I can't see what that is. Is that boat?
I can't make that out on my phone either. He said it has dropped. The poll has dropped.
Hey, is that a boat that he put in there? I can't tell. Have you hit the like button? There it is. Have you? Yes or no? Put it on there. Cat in a box, LOL. Good culture is what losers hang their hat on. Jeremy, here we go. What do you want to say about that?
I want to agree with Mark in one area. I know a lot of times in sports, you remember when the guy says, hey, good hustle? Usually that means you're not very talented. At least it did when I was young and played sports.
Well, that's because they were talking to you.
But my point is, culture absolutely matters. And I know there are losers who would say, yeah, we have good culture, though. But look, in the end, it does matter. So does talent. So does defense. There's a lot recipe for success, but I don't think you can be successful with bad culture.
The kid tries hard. He's a try hard. How about an attaboy button for him? Gets an attaboy.
Do you honestly think you can be successful with bad culture, Jay?
There's been teams be successful with bad culture. Yes. I don't think the majority of time it can happen, but I think there has been teams that have been good with bad culture. 2008 Florida, boom, Hunter just put it in there. I can name many. What about Ohio State? Jim Tressel.
Time out. Why are we saying 2008 Florida?
They had bad culture.
How? How, dude? How?
Do you know who all was on that team?
I know a couple guys, but you're just saying because this one criminal was on there that it's a bad culture. I don't understand that.
They had more than one issues, Jeremy.
I'm waiting, Jay. Name them.
Name other teams? Okay. Miami Hurricane. There it is under Jimmy Johnson. How about this? LSU's been pretty good with bad culture.
Well, I don't know what you just said, but Tim Tebow was on that team. I think they had pretty good leadership.
Hey, how about Florida State under Jimbo? Yeah, they won a natty. That team was. So what we're saying,
I agree. Jameis Winston, I think that team, that's a great example. The Florida State under Fisher was not probably good culture.
Correct. So I think it can. I just don't think it can. I don't think it can last. Those are like a lot of those we've been saying are one-hit wonders. So I don't think it can last. You want to build a dominant dynasty, you got to have good culture. Period.
And I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something.
5 stars.
I'm going to say
Baylor.
something.
Baylor.
I'm going to say something a lot of people might not like, Jay.
How about Penn State?
I'm going to say something that a lot of people might not like.
Okay, let's hear it.
In the grand scheme of things, for the fans, obviously winning matters. To the players, it probably does too. But when you're talking long term, you got NFL, you got life after football. A lot of guys would rather say they would rather be part of a great culture, even if they didn't win a title.
Say that again.
I might have cut out. Listen, I think a lot of players, and I'm not talking fans, because fans, we're on the outside. We're not in the middle of the ropes. We're not in the program. We're not between the hash marks. A lot of players might say, long term, you got NFL, you got life after football. Long term, they may rather be in a very good culture place than a team that even wins a championship.
I'll disagree with a little bit. Yeah, they want to be at a place with good culture, but a lot of them they don't go to a team to not win. I
didn't say that's why they go to the team, Jay.
Well, you said they'd rather be on a team.
I am saying in the end, in the long run,
after it's over, maybe you could look back on it and be thankful for the culture. Is that what you're saying?
I'm talking big picture here. Obviously, not many teams win national titles. Sure, you want to play for one, but culture, I think, has much more of a long-term impact even than winning a title.
Okay, let me say this. And
I wish it. I wish
Jeremy, I can't understand what you're saying. You're not spitting it out correctly, because what you're saying is, if I go to a team and the culture's great, that's better for me than winning a national title. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying both are.
That's what you said.
Okay, Chuck is saying you play to win a title. No dip. You play to win a title.
Jeremy, you said they'd rather, in the long term, have better culture.
Hey, stay tuned. I'm about 5 minutes from the house. I'll be on the camera here to explain my viewpoint.
Wait,
Just
why
be
do you have
ready
to have
for
your
it.
camera on to explain it? Can you not explain it without your camera on? I don't understand that.
I did explain it.
Well, I didn't understand it. Sorry, it didn't make sense to me. You're going to have to put it into better words.
And Purple Orca, it's not about money. I'm not even saying money. I'm saying as part of a team, yes, you want to win. You want to win every game you go out there and play. But in the end, you would rather be in a great culture than one that's not. Even if the team won, if I'm in the middle of a bad culture team, it's no fun, I promise you.
No, it's not fun. I've been on bad culture teams. It's better to be on a good culture team, but it's not better to be on a good culture team and lose.
So, Jay,
Yeah.
would you rather be, here's a would you rather question. Would you rather be on an outstanding culture program who makes it to the playoff every year but can never win the big one, or win the big one once but be a part of a team that had awful culture?
Hey, Jeremy, you're asking a question that's so dumb. You're now saying culture, but they make the playoff. Earlier it was culture and they're not a very good team.
No, it was about titles. It was about titles is what I
listen,
said.
I want to play on a team with great culture and I want to win a national title, period.
And Hunter just said the point, and I think someone else said, I want a ring. Okay, again, I prefaced every bit of this, guys, with the fact that fans are different. For fans, it's different.
Natty or bust. No, okay, Jeremy, you can say it's different for fans, but ask those players who worked their butts off in the offseason with Jerry Schmidt. Ask them if they want to win a natty. That's
no one ever said no one wants to win a natty. You're ignorant if you can't hear me.
Okay, but and Bobby, I think this is correct. I think and I think this is the thing we've been talking about all week on culture. I think the differences of opinions on culture are all over the place.
Hey, I don't like to assign homework, but I got homework for every Sooner Surge follower.
Wait, what about this? This is a great comment. Championships cannot be won without a winning culture.
A winning culture, I agree with. You got to know how to win.
Put your homework assignment in there because I think it's a great idea.
I think the homework assignment for before tomorrow night's live is we're going to start the live with everyone's going to drop their own definition of culture in here in the comments.
I think that's a great idea.
That's how we're starting this tomorrow.
You're going to drop your definition of culture and term paper. Jay Jones says that's your homework. Jeremy's a teacher. He's giving us homework.
Listen, I want all of this.
Not even scored that. Hey, Jeremy, how about
I want all this
and have whiteboards?
I want all this. I want all this in Times New Roman font size 12, and it needs to be SSA documentation. That's Sooner Surge Association documentation. There is no word limit, but you at least got to back it up. Let's have a good definition here.
And I'll promise you, I'll come with my culture definition. And I could say it tonight, but I'm not. I'm going to wait. Wait till tomorrow night. Culture. And maybe we title it culture. Winning culture equals
Give me 2 minutes. My camera's going to be on him.
Sooner fan, define culture, writes down this is, and turns the paper in. That's great. Fred says, I'm a big OU fan. I love them, but I don't see us winning a national championship for quite a while until we get good players up front. Hey, if you watch the Polynesian game, the Polynesian game yesterday, OU's got some dudes coming in at defensive line. I don't think you need to be worried. Jeremy, you got him laughing. You're deaf if you can't hear. Ron, is that directed at me? I'm not sure that's directed at me or not. And Sooner Cowboys, I think this is, if OU's going to win a natty, this is where it's going to have to be done. It's going to have to be done in the trenches and on the defense. Because you're right. They haven't had a defense that you could hang your hat on to win a natty in a long time. Now, I think it's trending that direction. I do. I think it's trending up. I think what they got coming in this year in the 24 class, especially in the trenches on the defensive line, is going to make a big impact. And David Stone and Jaden Jackson will bring the locker room leadership needed. OU has been void of locker room leadership for 3 years. We talked about this on a video we released today about David Stone and Jaden Jackson, and they got this it factor as far as the attitude. They don't settle for second best. They want to be the best. And David Stowe wants to be the best. And Jaden Jackson wants to be the best. And I can tell you, Danny Okoye, we've interviewed him. He wants to be the best. Nigel Smith, these guys are different on that line this year. And I think that's going to breed really good things for the defense.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for being on here.
Welcome back, dude. You look good. You look good.
Kudos to Hunter. Kudos to Hunter for jumping in tonight. Hey.
You like my new gear? Sooner Surge, man.
I do. Purple Orca. As a fan, you're right. I wish I heard more about winning natties and culture. But BV's not talking to the fans. BV's talking to the recruits and players, and that's what he's trying to sell is culture.
You don't think he's trying to sell winning?
I think he is that too, Jay, but he talks a lot of...
Here's the thing. And go ahead and answer that question, Jeremy.
About what?
Jeremy, you're a track coach.
I'm a track and cross-country coach, yes.
And, okay, talking about culture, I think you're going to see a lot of definitions tomorrow when
I cannot wait for this homework assignment, y'all.
Are you grading it?
It's all participation based. Just bring something in the chat tomorrow.
Ooh, this is good. I like this, Damon. Okay. Hey.
Wait, is this people are hey,
no, we gotta wait till tomorrow night.
Look at these tryhards. They're like those students who want 110% on everything. Look, tomorrow night, drop it in. We don't need it early, but I do like Damon's, and we may have to open with Damon's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow should be good to drop it in. I'll say this because I'm going to probably write a one-page paper on my culture, and I'm going to maybe open it up like a lawyer style, give my opening statements on culture. And then, Jeremy, you can give yours. But I
am not a participation grader. I'm not a participant. Hey, Mark, you want me to bring it tomorrow? Then I'll give people F's. How about that? If that's what
Jeremy, I coach with you. I coach with you, and it seemed like everybody was did great.
Okay, do not make me mad right now. That is hogwash, and you know it. You have
hogwash.
Jay, you know what? You know what's ridiculous is the fact that you said you're going to write a one-page paper. You're going to call me for every grammar error, a mistake. You're going to have me proofread it.
I don't need your help for grammar.
Hey,
golly, dude.
Listen,
there's things called Grammarly out there. I don't need
AI is not going to write your culture paper. Okay.
Who?
Yours.
Me?
Don't use AI.
I don't even know how to use ChatGPT. I don't even know how to use ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
And looky there, Jackson. He knows what's up. I am a better big game coach.
Wow. Hey. Wow. Monty's already dropping them in here. I heard that one 2 days ago from a student. Hey,
has anybody ever done that?
Ran track. Dylan Gabriel obviously didn't run track.
Jeremy, has anybody ever used that excuse for you? The homework, dog ate it.
I actually had one literally 2 days ago, Thursday.
What did they say?
I'm not gonna. They just said that right before it's time to present. They said their dog ate it.
Did you give them an extra day to do it?
No, extra day? Heck no, it's an AP Lane class. College credit course.
Hunter, did Jeremy ever give you extra days to do your work?
Hunter knows I graded outside of participation. Hey, Chuck, I can promise you this.
Hunter, so true, Chuck.
Hey, time out. Hunter was a student of mine, and I was the same every day. Okay, I didn't come in mad some days. That's not what I do. So
hey, I'll say this, Chuck. There's
Jay.
I love teaching. What?
I love teaching. It's my passion. I absolutely love my job, and it's fun. And yes, I've allowed late work. I work with students. I know students are busy people. But Chuck's asking if that's true, Hunter. I didn't just go off the deep end in class because I was mad at someone else.
What about this one? Hey, Jeremy, haven't you won Teacher of the Year though?
I'm not talking about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Thanks, Hunter. Appreciate it. Appreciate that.
There you go, Hunter.
Yes, nice. Damon, I do teach in Sapulpa. Jay, someone asked about who would win in a game of pig. Jay was the better shooter, but I could just back him down and do my little fadeaway. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go with Friends there. Down
I'm
post.
going with Friends.
Seinfeld was good though.
Hey, oh yeah. Who's laughing so hard?
Who, me?
Hey, I don't know, but hey, okay, this is I'm gonna. First off, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You know why? Because they're winning another natty in softball this year. Boom, 4 in a row. Maybe gymnastics.
He's talking about football, obviously.
I know. I was kidding. Look, I would. They're going to win another national title in the future of college for sure. When is it going to be?
Well,
hopefully in my lifetime.
It's been 24 years.
Ron, I don't know who that is. You asked about sprint team. If you're talking boys or girls, but West Side near Oklahoma City has some very good sprint for sure. The girls, Westmore last year was unbelievable. Westmore.
Hey, Ryan's asking about the Washington lineman. Hey, we know he visited. We're waiting on if he's going to commit. I think he will. And Jeremy,
I think the hatchet drops by 7 tomorrow.
7 p.m.
Yes.
It's another one of those deals. If it goes very long after tomorrow, I wouldn't. I mean, they have what, a week and a half to get enrolled and get going. So
yeah. Hey, I wasn't going off on Jay Johnson. I was just kind of being funny because it just said national championship. Hey, yep, I'll be at Sunday school too tomorrow, Chuck.
Me too. Me too.
That's what we all should be doing. Listen, I do want to say that I missed the first half of this, or what wasn't on the camera, but appreciate Hunter stepping in. I also want to say that a lot of you guys that are on here that have joined the Sooner Surge Unlimited membership, we are very thankful for you. We're thankful for all of you for being on here every night. I know Tanya dropped a super again. I know Chad Gamble dropped a super. Hunter has put the link, and again, it's we also are releasing videos to members a little earlier than the other general public gets it. So it is worth your time, I promise you.
And there's a lot more things coming in the spring and fall. So it would be great to be a part of, because we do have a lot of things coming. I mean, we've only been doing this a year on YouTube, but we've only been doing this live show for what, a month, I think. And
no, it's been 2 or 3 months, Jay.
Has it been that long? We got a lot more things coming. So be a part of it. Join up. Hey,
listen,
everyone, do your homework for tomorrow night.
Well, I'll get to the homework, Jay. And I'm a teacher. For the question about our dad, he is still in rehab. He's actually going to a new facility on Tuesday. It's a skilled nursing facility. Still hasn't passed the swallow test, but he has made some improvement. I actually got in trouble tonight for walking him in the hall with his walker. The nurses reprimanded us. And I didn't even get mad. I just questioned it a little and said, what do you mean? But anyway, he was walking down the hall. That was good. So there is some improvement. Thanks so much for asking, Ron Brown. And listen, don't forget the homework. There's no excuses. I know tomorrow's Sunday. You've had the weekend. You got tonight. You got tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. You got all the way till 9:30. Your homework. When this live starts tomorrow night at 9:30.
We're not putting a comment up there unless it has a culture definition.
Unless it has a culture definition at the beginning. Also, Jay, did you talk about our guest coming on next week?
I have not yet. We do have a guest coming on to talk about NIL. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm shooting for Monday. We'll see if that happens, but
probably be 9 o'clock. It'll probably be earlier if it is.
Probably be earlier, but you do not want to miss it, because he knows the NIL in and out. Really involved in that space for high school and college. So a lot of info that he'll be able to give us, and you're going to want to not going to want to miss it for sure. So
that's right. I'm excited, guys, to see the culture definitions popping in tomorrow. And then maybe after that point, we can actually figure out what culture actually is.
You got Baker Mayfield tomorrow too.
Baker Mayfield too. So yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate guys and gals, everyone that's on here. Thanks so much. There's that unlimited member opportunity. It's an opportunity, literally. Don't get you a Starbucks. Don't get you a energy drink one time a month, and you can be on this. He is in Oklahoma, but he covers all across this area. So
Yeah.
appreciate it. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.